Hey there, welcome to Drew Bentley Guitar. For today's lesson, we're going to be playing over At Last, a fantastic jazz blues standard. We'll try some different strategies of scales and arpeggios. We're also going to take a look at the theory behind the tune as well. Let's dive in. The tune is in the key of F. It's a 32-bar form, standard jazz form. A good amount of this tune is going to be playing over rhythm changes. 1, 6, 2, 5. That's F major 7 for the 1 chord. D minor 7 is the 6 chord. G minor 7 is the 2 chord, and some kind of C dominant chord is the 5 chord. In this case, it's C augmented. I'm playing with a little bit of distortion because I want to make this sound like jazz blues more than just straight jazz. I can bend strings with the tone, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to play some arpeggios. And we can play these anywhere on the neck. I chose to do these right here for the moment. We're on the 7th position, 7th fret. Here's the F major 7 chord. Start right there. F major 7. And I'm going to play D minor 7 right here. So I go first chord. Here's my 6th chord. Then here's going to be the 2 chord, G minor 7, I'm going to play right here. And then C7 will be right here. Now I could play these anywhere across the entire guitar neck. I've chosen to do this in the 7th position, just as a place to start. So I'm going to play through the chords to play the tune. Instead of playing through necessarily a scale. So this is the chord progression. You can hear it playing in the background there, right? So if I kind of play within those arpeggios, I can do something like... So I did that like this. I went... So here's the F major 7 chord. And then G minor 7, I can go C7 right there. I'll do it very slowly. I know I did this slightly different. I'm improvising as I do this. So what I want to do is kind of map through those chords and try to create a melodic line by doing that. That's 1, 6, 2, 5. The first 8 bars, 4 bars of the tune are doing this. Now it's C7 again. Here's F major 7 again. D minor 7. G minor 7. C7. So something like that will work. Now we're on to different chords already. It goes by very fast. So you need to learn your arpeggios across the guitar neck. Now I've got A minor 7 happening. I'll stay in the same position. Here's A minor 7. And I'll go back to D7. This time it's dominant. So I went like, starting each one on the root to make it very obvious. There's G minor 7 again, and here's C7. So that looks like this. Back to F again. So you can see I'm playing through chord changes when I'm doing this. And the rhythm is tum 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 cat, tum 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 cat. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, so you got to be aware of where you are with those chord changes. And as you do this over time, you'll start to find connective tissue, I call it. Passing tones between the chords. Passing tones are huge. And I'm also kind of accentuating the guide tones, the thirds and the sevenths when I do this. takes some time to get good at this, and you should definitely learn your chord theory, minor, major, dominant chords, the 2-5-1. 1 chord is major, 6 chord is minor, 2 chord is minor, 5 chord is dominant. Now, realistically, everything can be dominant. I know that's kind of confusing, but in jazz, we can do that. Right now, we're kind of playing through this tune, F6 for 1. It's major to minor, minor to dominant. So I'm thinking that when I'm playing this. But very slowly, I could do this without really playing over the tempo of the song, kind of a little freely. Now, the beauty of playing with a bit of distortion and playing the blues, you don't have to play this necessarily straight and slidey, slippery. You can do a little bit of vibrato and bending as well, because we're doing this with a blues feel. So I can go, I can give vibrato to those notes. I can go, and some vibrato at the top of that. Well, that time I did some chromaticism. I went to G7. So here's F major 6. Well, it's a 6. Now let's talk about that. I'm playing major 7 right now. I could play the D note also and accentuate the fact that it's a 6 chord. There it is. So maybe more like a... Now here's D again. Now I could play D minor up here too. So that was kind of pentatonic that time, but you get the idea. D minor is here. So you have to learn your arpeggios 1 octave at a time, and then try 2 octaves and try to play them across the guitar neck and piece them together to play these jazz tunes. That's how it works. So I could do F6 like this. Now I'm on D minor 7. Here's G7, minor 7. Now C7's up here. So F is here. F6, that's that. Here's D minor 7. G minor is here. There it is. And I can do this C7 chord here. I did it here. See, I'm starting this time with my 3rd finger. I can also do it with my 2nd finger, or the 1st finger. So you want to learn how to do these arpeggios starting with all of your individual fingers. It makes everything wide open. So far, we're just taking a look at the first 6 measures of the tune, but it's 1 chord to the 6th chord. Here's G minor 7, C7. That's a C dominant 7th chord. Now that has an augmented note in it. So realistically, I could accent that as well when I'm soloing. I could go. That time I played the root, the 3rd, augmented note, the flat 9 to the 9. That sounded like this. Now that's a cool sounding run right there. That's called the bebop leap. And you play the 3rd of the chord to the flat 9 to the root. So here's the 2 chord. I can see it coming. Here's the C7. Picking a couple notes out. Nothing special going on here at all. Okay, now I'm playing some jazzy blues, right? Now if I want to really make this jazzy blues, I might want to do a little bend or something, right? I could go. Now I'm bending into a half step up. Here, check this out. There's a G note. That's the flat 3rd. Bend that a half step from the 2nd and the 3rd. That sounds like this. What did I just do there? Here's the root, the 3rd, and the 6th. That's the major 7. I bent that a half step like this. Then I went to that kind of covers the D minor chord too. I'm in F, now I'm in the D minor. Now D minor 7 and F major 7. a relative major and minor, so they work together anyways. It's kind of synonymous. Here's G minor, and then I landed on the C note. So I call this measure awareness. You need to know where you are in the measure and implant that rhythm into your mind so you can land on those notes at the right spot. So here's F major 6, G minor 7, G minor 7. There's F again. Okay, now we're on to the next chords. A minor 7 to D7. G minor 7 to C7. So now we have 2-5, 2-5. This 2-5 is a 2-5 for the 2 chord. That sounds crazy, but it is. It's 2-5-1 for 2, but it doesn't ever go to 2. I call this a 2-5 to nowhere. A lot of tunes do this. It happens in Misty, happens in lots of jazz tunes where 2-5s, but never gets to the tonic of that particular 2-5. And this is a 2-5 back to F again. So we want to approach those 2-5s as well. And I can't stress enough, you have to learn how to play your 2-5-1s. Play your 2-5s. So here's A minor 7 with that 6-8 feel. So I did A minor 7. I'll do this very slowly. And then here's D7. There's a common tone at the end there. Here's G7. G minor 7, C7 is here. And I slid down, did Chromaticism from the root to the major 7 to the 7. That's a passing tone. A little bit of pizzicato to stick it. So it sounds like. Now you want to do a little bit of like vibrato, a little like kind of feel to it, because we're not playing jazz necessarily, we're playing jazz blues. So all the blues phrasing stuff that I'm talking about all the time comes out as well. I look for the lesson I just did recently on blues phrasing. I get into how to do that. So that also comes into play when you're playing over this. It's not going to be just standard jazz tune. You're playing with a little bit of a blues feel. Let's approach the 5 chord with a scale. Here's A minor 7. I'm going to play D Mixolydian over the 5 chord, which is inside. That's the inside mode over dominant. Here's G minor 7. I could even do that as a scale if I wanted to. Let's see. Dorian mode of G, and then C7 over a dominant chord is great to play the scale. Again, I could play a C Mixolydian scale. Okay, here's A minor 7, D Mixolydian. There's G Dorian, and there's C Mixolydian. So it'd be like. So I kind of threw some different scales in there as well. That also works. So the first ending is F6 again to D minor 7. It's a 1-6. Then we have this sharp 5 to this 5 chord. So how do we treat that? Well, arpeggios are good. So we could play D flat 7 right here. Here's C7. Simply go something like that. So back over the tune. Dum, 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 gat. So here's F, D minor, D flat 7. I'm going to do it right here. Back to C7. I'll do that slowly. F6, D minor 7, D flat 7 here. See how that works? It kind of bebops around, right? I believe, and I could be wrong with this, just my kind of a guess, I guess, that Dizzy Gillespie called it bebop because the notes bebop up and down, create a straight line and bebop around it. And it's really a fun thing to do. That's the first ending of the tune. So I'll play through the first ending, and then we're going to go into the second ending. This brings us to the B flat minor 6 chord. You can also treat this as E flat 9 as well. So B flat minor 6. Now you might think a minor 6 would have a flat 6, but it doesn't. It has a raised 6th. And the reason that happens is that comes from the melodic minor scale. The 6th is raised. See that note right there? You hear that right there? So when we play the scale, we play B flat melodic minor if we wanted to play a scale over it. Or even B flat minor concept will work. Here's B flat minor. That's the note we want. That's our target note. And that gets that melodic minor 6 in there. So that sounds more like this. Here's F6. Maybe like a... There's F and then D minor 7. So let's do this octave here. So now we can do our F6 here. Here's B flat. Here's F6 again. And here's D minor. So maybe like... That was cool. So I played F6. Here's B flat minor with the raised 6 in it. And I'm on this note. I could go down to F right there. If you start to learn your positions, as you learn your arpeggios across the whole guitar, you can go in different directions. You're not stuck in this one little spot here. You can go that way, east. You can go east, west, north, or south in any direction. And when you learn your arpeggios, you're kind of free to play across the whole guitar neck. You're not limited to one space. This brings us to the bridge of the song. We have G minor 7. It's a 2 chord. C7 is the 5 chord. F major 7 is the 1 chord. And D minor 7 is the 6 chord. So we've seen those chords before. The next chord is B minor 7 flat 5. Now, this is written as a B diminished 7 in the book. I think that's a misnomer because it's functioning as a minor chord. We'll call that minor 7 flat 5 to E7 flat 9 to A minor 7. So that's the first 4 measures of the bridge. Now we know how to approach the first 4 chords already. Here's G minor 7, C7, F major 7, D minor 7. Now the B half diminished can be 3 things. C major, because it's the 7 chord of C major. A harmonic minor, because it's the 2 chord of harmonic minor. Or D melodic minor, because it's the 6 chord of melodic minor. Now that's a lot of theory right there. So if you find yourself being stuck playing over this chord, just play C major. We'll do the easy one first. Those other options could be for a later lesson. So C major, right here that would be like this. And then E7 flat 9 can be any altered scale you want to over a dominant chord. We're going to play this as the super Locrian mode. It's called the altered scale. It looks like this. It has a flat 9, a sharp 9, a flat 5, and a sharp 5. Here's C major. Here's, so you play the chord changes, you'd be like, A minor 7. Here's A minor. C major over this chord. This super Locrian mode. Now I'd recommend learning these scales in every octave. There's a lot of work to be done here, but I'm staying in the same position for this whole thing. So now we have D minor 7 to G7. Now G7 is supposed to be a minor 7, but it's a dominant 7. And why is that? It's a secondary dominant. It's the 5 of 5. But in this case, it's not a dominant 5, it's a major 5. So the composer's having fun playing with the chords. So we can play D minor 7 over D. G7, we're going to play a G7 chord this time. C major 7. and then A7 flat 9. Let's go ahead and play the same super Locrian mode. We'll play it down here for simplicity's sake. That's where we played the super Locrian mode a second ago for E. It was like this. Keep it easy in the same shape. D minor 7, G7 flat 9. Okay, well there's another altered scale. Holy cow. Let's do that right here. Let's keep things simple in the same shape. Here's G right here. We'll do that right here. Super Locrian mode again. Same first octave of this position. That was G. Here's E. Here's A. It's a lot of theory, but it's not that hard if you do this in little segments. G minor 7. Here's C7 again. And now we're out of the woods, so to speak. Back to F6. D minor 7. Same from before. G minor 7. Now we have this C7 augmented chord again, right? So that's the same from the beginning of the tune. Nothing's changed. F major 7 to D minor 7. G minor 7 to C7 sharp 9. I call this the Hendrix chord. Now you've seen that before as well. Again, that's an altered chord, so we're going to play C super Locrian for that one, like this. So we had E super Locrian was here, A super Locrian was here, and we have C super Locrian here, and G was up here. So we did the same octave for each one of those. E, A, C, G. All right, F major 7, out of the woods again. D minor 7, G minor 7, C7 sharp 9. That was the woods. Now we have A minor 7 again to D7. Now this time it's a D dominant 7, and then we have G minor 7 to C7, and again just F6, D minor 7, G minor 7, and C7. So the rest of the tune pretty much follows the same format with the same chords. So you want to approach this with a couple chords at a time. You can do the first measure and loop that. The last chord in the first measure with the first chord in the second measure, loop that. Try to do sections of 2 measures at a time. Eventually get to through the first ending of the first section, and then try the second ending of the first section. Work on the B section separately. If the really hard chord changes are tough for you with all that super theory, play a couple notes to kind of breeze through those at the time being as you get better at this. You want to get your looper out and loop the track so you can slow it down. Practice with your metronome. Practice very slowly, methodically. Memorize these arpeggio forms that we went over today in this position, and eventually try to learn these across the entire guitar neck. There'll be plenty of lessons coming on this lesson channel to show you how to play arpeggios across everywhere, to do this in multiple places. For now, we're playing in this position. If you're on the 7th fret, playing through all these chords, one section at a time, even one chord change at a time. Practice it back and forth to try to get that to work for you a little bit at a time. Eventually be able to play through the A section, the first ending, and A section, the second ending, the B section, and then play through the end of it, which is almost the same as the beginning because it's like A, B, A format. And then you'll be able to fly through this tune and eventually be able to play with it and kind of make it sound like jazzy blues. Thanks so much for watching today's lesson. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Plenty of lessons on their way. I'll catch you next time.